Oh my God, what just happened? Welcome in everybody to the Sports Headline Show. I'm Sean Davis. The Brooklyn Nets just traded Mikal Bridges. Holy shit. I mean, let's just dive into it, bro. Per Adrian Wojnarowski, the Brooklyn Nets have agreed in principle on a trade to send Mikal Bridges to the New York Knicks for Bojan Bogdanovic, 4 unprotected first-round picks, a protected first-round pick via the Bucks, an unprotected swap, and a second-rounder. Sources tell ESPN. I'm going to make sure I get all the Woj information because Woj also had some additional information that he wanted to give us, which includes this deal that involves the Houston Rockets that says another massive deal. Brooklyn has a deal with Houston in return the Nets 2026 first-round pick for a 2027 Phoenix first-round pick, Sources tell ESPN the Rockets also acquired 2025 right to swap Houston/OKC first for the Suns 2025 first-round pick. There is a lot of details that I'm still kind of wrapping my head around here, including this last bit of confirmation going back with the Houston picks deal. Most importantly in the deal, per sources, Houston is relinquishing the right to swap a Houston/OKC first-round pick for Brooklyn's 2025 first-round pick. The Nets control their own pick as they go into a full rebuild, especially important in a talented 2025 draft class. Let's freaking go, man. Thank you. I'll just start from the Nets perspective because this is the most prevalent on my feed right now. Again, let's freaking go. It's about damn time, man. I've been just, beating my head in with, I feel, with the Nets and that whole conversation, bro, because my thought process this whole time has been, the hell are you guys doing? The way that they valued Mikal Bridges, I think it's just been ridiculously asinine, right? You have the Memphis Grizzlies really wanting Mikal Bridges last season, if I recall correctly. No, I want to say it's this summer. Willing to offer 4 first-round picks for him. We've heard most a ridiculous Houston Rockets package that got brought up at the deadline, right? And got to give Sean Marks his credit here, sticking to his guns, if you will, and say, no, we value him at this, and this is what you're going to pay us. And now they get a haul for Mikal Bridges in this deal. But I think the most important thing here, going back to the tweet from Woj about the picks from Houston, is they were able to get back their 2025 first-round pick and just completely tank next year. That is the most important deal in this most important part of this entire deal, The fact that the Brooklyn Nets were able to get back the 2025 first-round pick in a loaded draft class with Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey, most importantly, Cooper Flagg, right? Because the Nets have been this team that have said, all right, we're going to be mediocre. They've been the Bulls for a while now, where we're cool with being mediocre and missing out on elite level talent and not really ever drafting well. And I am such a big fan of teams finally just saying, you know what? Let's quit with the mediocre bullshit. Let's be bad for a year for the betterment of our team and our organization. I will much rather be bad for 1 year and then have actual long-term promise than be consistently mediocre, be consistently in a play-in mix with Mikal Bridges fully healthy. That's what you're looking at with him as your best player, being semi-consistently in the play-in mix and, maybe getting a late lottery pick. Or in this scenario, they wouldn't have had the late lottery picks. They would have pulled the deal off. So I absolutely love this angle for the Brooklyn Nets. The Knicks, I like it a little bit too. I like it a lot too, actually. I probably don't like it as much because Brooklyn got back to the 2025 first, which I said is probably the most important thing in this entire whirlwind of a trade, if you will. But New York, as much as I appreciate Brooklyn saying, you know what, let's just be bad for a year and finally acknowledging that, I equally, if not even more, respect the balls and the effort. We are here, we're gonna contend. The East is wide effing open, and I think a lot of this maybe plays to the fact that I really think New York feels if they were healthy, they can at least challenge Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals. Whether or not that's true or not doesn't matter. That's not my point. But you look at the landscape and the land in the Eastern Conference, it's gonna get scary for Milwaukee one way or another here with the upcoming with the tax implications, thing like that. Dame, they really needed Dame to be who he was prior to getting in Milwaukee. It's just not the same. That roster's getting older. Philly can get there, but Philly is a ways away. And if I'm New York, we just beat Philly. So I do view Philly a little bit differently if I'm New York. And I'm saying, yeah, it's kind of just Boston in the East. Like, you respect Cleveland. You always want to give respect to Miami. Obviously, Indiana made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. But a deal like this makes you go like, you know what? Nah, we want to be viewed as a team that's on that same level as a Boston. And Mikal Bridges as your second offensive option, I think that's even a bit high, but like, I'm game with that necessarily. And they have to make some moves, right? They can still bring back OG Anunoby. They can still bring back a Harnside. They have to clear a lot of salary on the books currently. I don't know where this leaves Julius Randle, if I'm being completely honest with you, but if they're able to retain OG Anunoby, expect to see the New York Knicks very high on my ranking come July and August, even in September when we do my preseason in-depth power ranking series, because I love this deal for the Knicks. Again, just the aggressiveness, the balls, that I just drop your balls on the table, if you will, with this deal. And that's what it is. Like, again, just the aggressiveness and the I don't care nature. And you kind of get to capitalize in this last like year of Jalen Brunson's contract being this elite, where he's going to be extension eligible next year. Might be like later on this year, excuse me, like this calendar year. So I love this a lot for the Knicks and the Nets. I don't know how I feel about this from the Rockets perspective necessarily right now, only because there's talk about them being interested in a Kevin Durant, for example. Like, you know, Woj details here that a part of the reason why, like, the implications of the Rockets getting the Suns picks is that Houston wants to trade for Kevin Durant, and I'll just pull up on screen, and becomes far easier to trade for Kevin Durant if they can return the Suns picks that they gave up for Durant in the deal to the Nets. Suns have said they're keeping Durant for now, but that could change next season. But now the Rockets have the picks to, you know, ultimately like give the Suns what they want. And as intrigued as the Rockets have been about Durant, they're determined to use the Suns picks to be aggressive on deals elsewhere now. Sources tell ESPN. So this, like, where my mind immediately goes from there is, do the Rockets become a Paul George trade destination? Now, I don't know where Paul George takes you from like a contender standpoint. You're obviously a much better team. Paul George is still a really, really good player, but I don't think he's the player at this stage where I'm like, unless you're projecting Sengun taking like a top 5 center leap next season, or Jalen Green being legit, Amin Thompson like having an all-star breakout. I don't know how I view like the Rockets going after Paul George potentially, but that is definitely an option. So, guys, I need to continue to wrap my brain around this. The NBA draft is tomorrow, so go check out my top 30 big board when you guys get some time. Really, really appreciate it. Please do me a big favor. Leave a like and subscribe here on the channel. More fantastic content on the way. Till next, everybody. See ya. Stay safe and peace out.